Hey guys, I hope we're all well. I'm set up today in my beautiful cabin where I do my Reiki sessions from. I've not shown you guys it before, but yeah, it's really cozy. We've got this is it basically. This is the roof, it's bed. I have my wood burning stove on. It's beautiful. It's a little magical place, and you can hear the rain on the roof. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's so relaxing. Anyway, I was meant to have a session today, this morning. Well, I'm having one later on, but I was meant to have a session I thought I had 2 sessions today, but I had accidentally booked the wrong day. I thought I said Tuesday, but I had accidentally said Thursday to the girls. So I was sitting here waiting and she wasn't here, and I was like, what? And I checked my messages and I was like, oh, I was a tit. Anyway, everything happens for a reason, so I'm going to take this opportunity to do a little video. Everything happens for a reason, so yeah. I'm quite glad that happened because it meant I can sit and prepare, and I can do a little Reiki session on myself. We set up the wood burning stove a bit earlier than we should have, but that's okay. So it's going to be nice and warm in here. I think I'm going to do a little fire release, release session with the fire, so I might film that too. But what we're going to do, as I always do, is pull some cards for the day, see if we've got a little message. I just love it in here. I'm always in such a good mood. Look at this beautiful setup. My grandparents are here in a photo. My other grandparents are over here. I like to honour them when I'm here. I light a little candle, and I feel like it's really special in here. I do feel like they are in the energy. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull some cards. We did just have a full moon a couple days ago. So the last one of the year, the energy has been fairly intense. I'm going to be honest, I'm not entirely sure everything that is going on in the world out there, in the mainstream media, etc., and on the world stage, because to be honest, I focus on my own life. I do not feel like it's beneficial for my soul to be always watching news and constantly being aware of what's going on out there, because I gotta make sure my life's alright and people around me are okay and my health's there, and you know, things I don't have control over. I do not want to put too much of my energy onto. Where your energy goes and flows, where your energy goes, where your intention goes, energy grows, basically. And that's my belief in it. So, I have no idea what's going to come out here. Okay, cute. Commune, psilocybin. Excuse my nails. Psilocybin, commune. This made me think of me, and then there's like a grandmother and a grandfather tree, and then there's some little fae kind of dancing around. Psilocybin is the trippy mushroom. Also, what's funny is they have a lot of mushrooms. Magic mushrooms have a lot of alignment with Christmas. We have Christmas tree, so that is really cool. So what is this? I might just read from the book for you. We'll see what comes up. Because I have no idea why that came up, you know. Communing with the sacred, connecting to otherworldly energy, which is what we're doing in this cabin. Remote viewing, regeneration through union, coming together with a tribe, finding cosmic family. Okay, so, okay, Los Niños Santos have come to tell you that you have arrived at your place of power. They are beacons of light on earth and offer psychic healing on a collective level. Los Niños Santos are asking you to tune in and commune with the ancestors and powers that be to further develop your power. What was I literally saying before this? What the fuck? Psilocybin floods our body with light codes, loosening the knots we've volunteered to protect through the journey of life. Now this is what Reiki does as well. Don't resist the profound teachings. Relax into the higher mind as you commune with its loving awareness. As you find home within commune with others and experiences that support you, connect to nature and the extensive community of energies that are lovingly there, awaiting your conscious arrival. Commune with the spirits and channel the wisdom provided with sure-footed spontaneity. So here, right, this is what this cabin is for me. This is my sacred space. When I come in here, I light my candles. My dad helped me with the wood burning stove. I can't do that on my own. I'll fuck it up. I'm trying to get better. I'm not a fire. I like fire. Don't get me wrong, but I don't really build fires. That's my dad that does that. But I do want to learn. But when you basically create the space, you light your candles, you burn your sage, and you connect with, say, your ancestors and your energy team, your spirit guides, your spirit team, and create this space like an altar, for example. So this is like a larger version of an altar. You are opening up and connecting to really beautiful healing energy and wisdom. Things can come through to you that you maybe will not be able to hear in the outside world when we're not in that sacred space. So just like with prayer, right, for example, that's another way you're creating that space, right, in that communication. In many religions, they take their time for prayer. You think of a church, that's a space as well. That's a sacred space for opening up that connection. It's in many different cultures. And even if you think of Christmas, right? Christmas tree, you're building this tree, you're creating this kind of altar space, you're putting lights and different symbols. I don't know much about the symbolism of the Christmas tree. I'm not going to claim to know, but to me that is a sacred and ritual kind of thing that people do, right? So in our life, in our culture, we have these practices rooted in, but it's very, very common for us to completely forget to create that space and intention. Because when we create that space and intention and then we use offerings like a candle or whatever that may be to you, you are creating the link between yourself and that energy in that world, to allow the communication between you and them. I don't know why I stopped there. We don't do that. You can do it in nature, right? Nature's going out on a walk in nature. That's the sacred, right? But you're bringing all the elements into it, basically. But we've always done it. It's always been part of our kind of, I don't know, like, I don't even know where it comes from. If you look at all the different ancient tribes and different cultures, like, there has always been this. But in the modern day and age, we don't really so much. We don't, and I often forget to come into that space. And that is my spiritual an energetic health that I am, you know, avoiding and not really keeping into contact with, because your spirit team, you have free will. Your spirit team will not help you unless you ask, because you have free will. They are loving, they want to help in ways that they can, but if you're not creating that communication and that relationship with them, you're kind of shutting them out. So it can be as simple as just asking for help. It doesn't need to be a big grand gesture like I've done with this Reiki space and with this cabin space. It's my mum and dad's cozy place, but we've infused intention into it, intentionally and unintentionally, you know, like it's a space for family, love and togetherness. And definitely when we are here, when I'm in here, I do feel like time slows down and speeds up all at once, and it's just this kind of warm hug. I absolutely adore it. And so we are being called very much so to be conscious and connect to that part of ourselves, to welcome it in, because it'll help us to restore our energy, to help fill our cup up. And yeah, it helps us to listen to the truth and to know what's going on while the busyness of life is going on out there, because really it can be very distracting. I don't know where to put this because this light's kind of bothering me. Whatever. Yeah, here we go. I have not seen this card for a while. Blue Lotus, intuition. When we are in these spaces, our communication channels open up with the divine, and our intuition. We can work on our intuition. That is a muscle that needs to be built. Now this is the Blue Lotus. I have a story about the Blue Lotus flower and psilocybin, which is funny that these two have come up, so I obviously need to tell the story. So I did a little trip one time, a little mushroom trip. I don't really tend to do that anymore. I understand it is a medicine, a plant medicine for people. Why is this not focusing? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Is it focusing? Oh my goodness. It's too dark. Anyway, yeah, Blue Lotus. So I had taken mushrooms. I was doing a little mushroom trip, not gonna lie to you. And it was very transformative this time. And I was in like this, I was in a meditative state, and this woman basically came to me, and she was, I don't know what goddess she was, but she was depicted as in this rainforest. I don't know if it was Isis. I feel like it was. I think it was. I think she's associated with Blue Lotus, so I can't be sure. I cannot remember. I don't really work with deities, to be honest. If they want to work with me, cool. I don't really dabble in that. I don't really dabble in that. Sometimes different depictions of them and symbols come through during Reiki for me, but I don't have a solid practice with that. Anyway, that's not the point. I seen this woman while I was meditating on mushrooms, and I was like, it was so profound. Like it was so profound. And then I can't remember what else happened after that. There's lots of cool things that happened. But when you take mushrooms, right, the couple of days after, you do get downloads and you do get things come through. Like I'll write some incredible stuff after using that plant medicine. Anyway, I was meditating a couple days, or was it a day later? It was a day later. I was meditating and the same woman appeared to me, and she went like this, and she handed over to me a Blue Lotus flower. And she didn't say it, but she said with her mind, drink this. And I did. I had no idea why. And then I researched it, and Blue Lotus tea, it was very, very popular in Egypt, but also it is used for dream work. They drink it as a tea, and it helps with your intuition and your third eye, which was super, super powerful. Your psilocybin, your mushrooms open up your third eye, so does the Blue Lotus flower. So in these cards there's some like third eye activation here. There could be the third eye is being activated here. I also said about your cup, like filling your cup up. So there's a cup here. It's like when you energetically fill your cup up, like insight and such can flow through to you. It's really, really beautiful. I've actually drank Blue Lotus tea before. People do smoke it as well. I don't. And it's a really beautiful, it doesn't taste the nicest, the tea, but it's very calming and it's quite euphoric. It's not like a trippy experience, but it's like a very nice feeling, and it's very ancient. They used to infuse it in wine as well. I'm going to read the Blue Lotus. Is a direct doorway, a mediator into the world of the gods, the perfected balance that it bestows, meeting the guardians of mystery, dream work, initiation. Yeah. Blue Lotus is a direct doorway, a mediator into the world of the gods, the perfected balance that it bestows us, assists us in bridging and refining the divine connection between the heart and the brain. Blue Lotus today is assisting you in widening the portals of your intuitive powers, granting you access to the realms of inner knowledge held within the great mystery. Remember, the lotus rises from the depths of muddy waters, untouched and impeccable, to blossom into majestic beauty. Don't allow the muddy waters of the blossoming process to suppress your intuition and belief in yourself. Trust the process and believe in the mystery. Listen deeply to the guardians of mystery as you unfold from the darkness. Now, what I'll say as well, and what that's making me feel is, when we have this sacred space, it holds us for when we have to dip into our subconscious mind and go into the darker parts of ourselves where we need to heal. Because that's where the learning is, and that's where our magic is. It's when we journey into the subconscious mind. I feel really drawn to take some tarot cards. There we go. Look how funny this is. My eyesight. So this to me is communing, right? So look at these. There's the cups. It's like that energy exchange. And then you've got the divine depicted here. And to me, like in this card, they've created, it's like a stage. It's like they've created this stage for this to occur. It's like when we create that space and that intention, we kind of, it's like, yeah, it's like taking a step onto that stage. It's like, right, the show starts. It's like a signal. I have no idea what I'm saying. Here we go. Movement forward. My God, my eyes. Right, look again. Oh, sugar. He's in this carriage, right? But it looks like it's like a sacred altar to me. And this is balancing of the dark and the light. And feeling into the heart and the head, which is what we talked about in this card. And it directs you. It takes you where you need to go. That is how we're able to direct ourselves, because in life, if we're not having this connection, this divine spiritual experience, doesn't even need to be in a spiritual sense, but we're not taking that time to connect with our heart and our mind, and to kind of clear out the subconscious and get to feel and know what's actually within and what's actually going on, rather than being distracted. We can veer off into the wrong directions, or not the wrong directions, but paths that maybe aren't meant for us. You know, not our highest good. This is another divine card, communing with the divine. Look, she's in this space. We've got our guides here. and she's like, the divine is working through her, right? She's floating, she's like, I'm in this space. That space is where beautiful things can happen. Yeah, release, whoa, okay. Release the dark wound and let love in. Portal, entering the portal, releasing what needs to be released. Let love live. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm just seeing if I can get anything else from this. When we're in that space, that portal space that we've created, that energy space that we've created, you can get that in a meditative state. It doesn't need to be with an altar. You know what I'm saying. What I've been saying for the past however long. We can get into the frequency that we need to be in to attract towards us experiences that we need to go through that align with our highest good. Release the dark wound. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do a wee release ritual. I'm gonna talk you guys through it as well and maybe film it, but that'll be another video. I'm gonna read this for you. Oh, so nice and cozy in here. I'm quite glad that I got the days mixed up. If we detach something from its source too soon, trying to force it to become what it is not yet ready or willing to become, we can unintentionally sap it of its strength and kill it. There's a dark wound in the consciousness of humanity which demands perfection and denies process. If you're thinking of publishers before you've even written the book, if you're comparing your unfinished song idea to the latest best-selling pop release, if you've decided you're not good enough or worthy enough to succeed before you've given it everything you've got and asked for divine help, then this dark wound has you in its grasp. You have to let go of the death grip of perfectionism and let yourself and your ideas live. Love is abundant, creative and inspiring. It moves us so much more joyously and creatively than fear. You're being asked to honour the path of your own love. What inspires you? What feels exciting, joyful, and perhaps even rather different? Let that live. Release the dark wounding of false belief. There are countless stories of vastly successful artists who very nearly binned the project that was the making of their career because of the despair fostered by its own dark nature. They doubted. They were uncertain. Was their work any good? Was it useless? They struggled to believe in the right of a work to come to life, whether it was accepted, revered, or rejected by others or not. They nearly lost their work to fear. Undoubtedly, there have been many times when this has actually happened and the work was not saved, not allowed to live. Do not let this happen to you. Whether something's meant to be a commercially oriented venture or a more personal creation for your own therapeutic healing, it must be allowed to be without judgment. Just like your guides are with you, they let you be without judgment. You know? This is what you need to do for yourself too. When you start to have that connection with them, you start then doing that for yourself. Okay? From my own experience. Without criticism, even without premature evaluation, it must be allowed to be what it is, and only time, love, patience, and attention will reveal it. If you've drawn this card, right, never mind. Right, if you feel drawn to read the messages, blah, 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 never mind. Right, they're just talking about other cards. So, there is something within all of us and all of our souls that is to be shared with the world. whether that be like just how we interact with other people, like Two of Cups, how we interact with others. It doesn't need to be, as I say, it doesn't need to be something you show in grandeur, right? It can just be something that you really like care for. And for me, it's this. It's being in this space. It's doing Reiki for people and helping them connect with that part of themselves and that beautiful energy of the divine around them, because the world is scary out there. People don't know what the fuck's going on. So when we have that kind of like healing and loving energy, it makes us feel a lot better, right? And a lot more brave to face the world, to face ourselves, to face what we need to face. Because it is a beautiful experience. That's funny. I just pulled this offering tobacco. These are all similar cards from this deck that I've pulled. And lots of cultures, they offer tobacco to their ancestors and guides and such. When we give them that energy, we receive the help back, basically. So we're being called to have that, even just with people, right? Being giving to others. When we give that energy into things, it doesn't need to be people. We can just be giving. When we're giving that intention, we receive back. That's how the exchange works. Same with like when we want new things to come into our life, we must release things in order to make that space. That's how the universe works. When we release certain things, we then call it in to that empty space, because that quantum energy does not like empty space. I'm going to read from the book. And then I think, I'll probably just finish there, and then I'll do a little fire ritual for you guys, which is something I didn't expect to be doing on here, but I'm gonna empower, divine gift, invocation, respect, deep alignment with will and purpose. The gods of power are here to serve, and they demand loving respect. Tobacco reminds us to utilize power compassionately. How we use and direct this power determines the quality of life. Offer your actions as a divine gift, selflessly and in service to the sacred. Grandfathers protect tobacco's protective and powerful energy, lovingly opens the doorway to the spirit world to those who ask with humility and respect. Don't allow the illusions of power to ignite destructive behaviours or propel you towards addictive habits. Yeah. A beautiful energy. A beautiful, beautiful energy. When we give from that selfless energy, when we connect with our spirit team, when we connect with other people who are just as us, like we all are part of the same thing, that's where this divine energy can bloom and grow and spread out. As we start to do that work, when people start to do that healing, more darkness becomes more obvious. So that's why shit's going down in the world right now. A lot of things are coming crashing down. A lot of stuff is going crazy. But it's because things need to come up to be released. So just like that's happening within us, and there's a lot of really stressful things going on with people's lives, and people are maybe having a bit of a struggle. It's coming up, it's bubbling up to be released. Cry it out, get it out. What's happening out there in the world is the same as what's happening in here. It's a collective healing. and a collective remembering and a collective knowing towards our, you know, the energy around us that we can't see. We are being very much called and we are very much protected, which we need to remember. This is divinely guided. The rain, I can't, it's beautiful. I'm gonna come down here because I feel, oh my god, my knees. I might do a little, shall we do a little release? Should we do a little release? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Let me get a notepad. So, I'll explain what to do. Please say I have a pen. Please say I've got a pen. Yes. So this is cute and cozy, isn't it? So because it's the end of the year and because of what we were just talking about, we're gonna release. Okay, so I don't know if I need to put another heat block in there. No, it's fine, there's still fire going. So when I want to connect with my spirit team, I like to start on a bit of paper. Whatever we write, writing is very powerful. Where we put our intention, our word, it's very powerful. So I like to thank my guides. Thank you, spirit guides, loving ancestors, angels, God and Goddess, for your love, divine protection, and healing. I call upon you now to help me to release what no longer serves my highest good. Now you can get really particular about this. It's very good if you're particular, right? Everything you want to release within yourself, if it's a job, if it's a person, if it's ideologies that you have, and it can be so many things, but whatever you feel you want to release, write this on the page. So I like to start like that. Thank you, spirit guides, loving ancestors, angels, God and Goddess, for your love, divine protection and healing. I call upon you now to help me to release what no longer serves my highest good. And then I'm gonna write, I wish to release, and then I write down what I want to release. So I'm gonna do that now. So just, you can do this along with me if you want, because I'm being very quiet. I'm just writing. Don't overthink it. When you start to write, it will flow in. I'll read this out to you as well. I might need to cut this. I'll read it out to you guys. So far I've written, I wish to release my fear towards standing in my purpose. I release negative cords attached. Now, I know people don't really feel comfortable sometimes doing cards, energy card work, but negative cords. If you say negative cords, you're not cutting the cords between anyone else. Also, if you're releasing or clearing, clearing them just clears the cords. I release negative cords attached to me from others through all timelines, dimensions, and realities. I release trauma and wounds from all timelines, dimensions, and realities that are holding me back from living my purpose. I release all bad karma that is needing cleared through all timelines, dimensions, realities. You can keep going and going and going. It can be very specific, or you don't even need to write specifics. You could just ask your guides, release what no longer serve me, for the highest good of all, with no harm to none. I'm going to write the end with no harm to none after all this, but you can even just say, guides, angels, you know what I need to release, please help me to do so. With no harm to none, with no harm to none, I release what you want needs to be released for the highest good of all. Okay, thank you. Thank you. And you can sign off asking, just saying thank you to your guides. Thank you, Spirit Team. I'm gonna write, and I'm gonna rip it off. So yeah, you can be very particular about this, or you don't have to be. And then when you get your bit of paper, you're gonna fold it away from you. Always away, because you want all that energy to go away. Okay? Oh, I just realized I also have something in the back that's manifestation, so don't take that into account, okay guys? Don't take what's written on the back into account, thank you. I also like to draw my Reiki symbol on it to give it more power. Okay, so anyway, folding it away from yourself. And then we're going to put it in the fire, which is the best bit. Now when you put it in the fire, oh my god, I can't open this. Just visualize, oh there we go, I'll show you in a minute.